Join the conversation. 969-5877. Start KTRS from most cell phones and text NightCourt at 84126.
This is NightCourt.
We're back with Dave Stewart. We're talking about the Fast Eddie Mayer case, the man that was busted in the Lake of the Ozarks as the cable guy after a 20-year sojourn from his bank robbery heist, allegedly, in 1993 in England. Now, Dave, where is Fast Eddie right now, and what is he facing as far as charges, and what is going to be happening next with any court appearances that he has?
Well, right now he's being held in Springfield in a jail, the Greene County Jail. The federal government has a contract with the Greene County Jail. That's where he's being held now, and he will be held there until his next court date, which is on February 22nd at 9 a.m. He goes before a federal magistrate for the second time.
You mentioned that magistrate, and I checked the charging documents. Here's what I found ironic. The name of the magistrate, James England.
Right.
Welcome home, Mr. Mayer.
Exactly. So the story has so many ironies in it. It's hilarious sometimes.
And one of them is this. Didn't Mayer file for a federal public defender claiming he's broke?
Yes, he did. The money's gone.
The money's gone. $1.5 million.
He's been working since 1998.
That's unbelievable. Here's a guy that one of the biggest bank heists in British history, and he's broke. And now he's in jail. So when is his next court date, and what is the federal government trying to charge him with here? And have you heard anything about what the British system is doing about trying to get him extradited back to England to face this bank robbery charge from the 90s?
Well, it's really interesting. Right now, there is no international warrant for Eddie Mayer. Now, the police, that doesn't mean the police in Suffolk don't want to talk to this guy, but there's no international warrant through Interpol. Now, I'm sure that's in the process. There's no hurry since Eddie's not going anywhere, at least until February 22nd.
No, and that's George Washington's birthday, the father of our country. So you got England, you got George Washington, you've got bank heists, you've got everything you can possibly have in this story.
Right. So February 22nd, he's going to go before the judge. His attorney is going to be able to argue for a bond of some kind, that maybe he could be released on some sort of bond. And, of course, the prosecution, the U.S. government will argue that he's a flight risk and has demonstrated.
Imagine a bank robber on the lam might be a flight risk.
Right. So I don't see that happening. I'm no legal expert, but other cases I've covered in federal courts, you don't often get a bond when there's any possibility of a flight risk.
That's right. Well, I know that you're going to keep us appraised of this story. This is one of the most interesting stories I've ever heard of. I know someone's going to be going to talk to Eddie Mayer about optioning this story for a movie, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did something about this. But you're going to keep us posted on this thing for sure, right?
I will, absolutely.
All right. Now, also, you're down there in Springfield. Dave Stewart is our guest, managing editor at KSPR News, Channel 33, the ABC affiliate. When I think of that part of southwestern Missouri, you can't help but think of the devastation last May in Joplin. Please tell us, all our listeners want to know, what is happening in Joplin these days, and is there anything that they can do to help out, because I'm sure the job's not done?
No, it's not, and the recovery does continue. Every couple of weeks we cover a new building or a new business that's going back into business, a grand reopening, they're calling them. The Home Depot just a week before last opened back up. The most recent piece of, I'd say, significant news to come out of Joplin was just this last month, and it covers the odd topic of tornado tourism. And the question really is, should the community market this devastation to tourists? And as you might imagine, it's definitely an emotional issue.
So they've got people that they're trying to get to come on a vacation to go see the devastation from the tornadoes?
Well, I wouldn't say that they're really trying to reach out to people. But, you know, there are a lot of tourists who pass through one of the Missouri Welcome Centers on I-44 there near near Joplin. And those tourists have been asking a lot of questions about the tornado, the devastation, how bad is it, can we go and see it? So the conventioner and the Convention and Visitors Bureau has discussed, even offering guided bus tours, maybe even a smartphone app. And when, the residents of Joplin got wind of this, some of them were very upset. And they, imagining their shattered homes put on display for sightseers, they very swiftly responded with calls and emails that were not very polite to the city. But, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, the director, Patrick Tuttle, said that he really just wants to promote the recovery to outsiders. It's not about busted up homes or destroyed cars and body parts. He wants to, focus on the recovery and how that's going, because there's still a lot of work to be done. These houses and stores that are popping up, they pale in comparison to, the empty lots and concrete foundations that are still there. And that's the vast majority of the landscape in some parts of town still.
Yeah, that stuff sounds creepy. But there's some good things going on down there. There's a new initiative I think the governor has, and there's still a lot of work to be done. What is going on that's positive for the people of Joplin, and what can people in the rest of this community and the rest of the world do to try and help and get involved with the recovery down there?
Well, one of the things that the city of Joplin has said is, come spend money with us, contribute to our economy, or donate money. You can also donate money. The governor has started what he's called his the 2012 Governor's Joplin Habitat Challenge, and that's in partnership with the Joplin Habitat for Humanity. I'm sure you've heard about them.
Yep.
It's a great organization that builds homes for people that wouldn't otherwise have a home. And their goal is to build 35 homes this year and divide them up into 7 different neighborhoods.
That sounds fantastic. What can people do if they wanted to get involved with that? Is there any website or any contact information for folks that either wanted to donate or maybe go down there and lend a hand?
Yes, there's a website. It's called joplinchallenge.mo.gov. It's the governor's website, and they have a special page for the Joplin Challenge there. There you can find out more about what the Joplin Challenge is. The governor's providing $3.6 million in a grant to build the homes. You find out how to donate yourself and how to volunteer.
Outstanding. All right, Dave Stewart, down there at KSPR News, Channel 33, the managing editor. We thank you for your time. You'll keep us appraised on Fast Eddie, and anytime you want to come on and be a guest on Night Court, if you got stuff going on there, don't be afraid. You're welcome here anytime. You're a great guest.
We'll keep you posted.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Dave Stewart. We'll be right back with more Night Court.